Hi, it's Shelley again, and this is the beginning of part 2 for the 2025 astrology. And I want to thank you. Hi, this is Shelley, and welcome back to the 2025 part 2 for the astrology. We're going to talk about the year, and really what I'm focusing on mostly in these podcasts and these vlogs is Aries. Aries is a significant energy coming up this year. And, we've been in a cycle that was really strong with Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces in the last few years. And now we have Pluto in Aquarius. So it's coming to the end of that cycle as well. In the next, 50 years, it'll be in Aquarius and Pisces. But a lot of other planets are moving into Aries this year. So while we are moving into a different Chinese astrology, I think it's the year of the rat this year. I might have to look that up. We are going to be mostly in Western astrology, the year of the ram. And so I've got my notes right here, and that's why I'm trying not to look down so much. So maybe I'll hold them out in front of me a little bit. But I've written down a lot of notes on what the planetary positions are. And I was going to save that for the third part of this series. And really what I want to talk mostly about in this segment, which isn't going to be probably that long. I just looked up, it's 11:11 a.m. So for those of you who are into numerology and watch this kind of thing, 11:11, very significant. It's an angel number for those of you who are unaware. Anyway, Aries, I'm going to just list a few of the things that Aries will bring in and then discuss an overview of what Aries is going to do this year. And then in the next video, I will hopefully in the next couple days, we'll get to all of the details, the minutia of the transits and which planets are where. I will give you a quick overview of all the planets that are going to be in Aries this year. So every month we're going to have the moon in Aries. The sun goes in Chiron, the north node. Chiron is always in, or not, Chiron is already in Aries. The north node goes in very soon on the 13th. Well, actually, it ends where it's at in Aries and goes into Virgo Pisces. So we only have through the 13th. Venus will be in Aries, Mercury will be in Aries, the sun will be in Aries, Mars will be in Aries, and Neptune will be in Aries. And let me see. Yeah, I think that covers it, which is a lot. It's 6 entities. Let's see. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, including the moon. So lots of energy in Aries. And for those of you who are unaware and unfamiliar with Aries, it is the first sign of the zodiac. That means when you look at a natural chart, it is at this position, which is the first house of the zodiac, right there, that section. Let me see if I can show you. I've actually got my own chart. This is my chart. So it's right here, that house. And it rules the first house, meaning it rules the identity, it rules a sense of self. And a few of the other things that Aries rules are heat. It's ruled by fire. It's a fire sign. Mars is its ruler. So heat waves will come in, and I think we're going to have a lot of hot weather this summer. Civil unrest, the Black Lives Matter movement, anger, agitation, babies, sex, tantrums, athletes, sports, knives and guns, cars and motorcycles, and our personal drive. So we'll see if that gets past the powers that be here on YouTube. I'm saying all those wonderful things, probably flags left and right. But it is what we're going into. And because we have this strong energy of Aries and Mars answering, or this strong energy of Mars basically having all the transits answer to it, it's going to have tremendous power. And Mars rules men. Mars, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, or Venus, so much editing. Anyway, we're going to have a lot of this energy coming in this year. I think I'm probably going to put together this with the other part of the video. Probably don't have to say it. Anyway, so yeah, we've got n degrees of Pisces. Pisces is where we're moving out of with a lot of energy with Neptune, and there will be some transit back into Pisces throughout the year. It'll go into Aries and back to Pisces and back to Aries next year. So the Pisces energy is wrapping up a cycle, is the end of the energy of all the zodiac signs combined. And so it is going to be a year of endings and new beginnings. And the endings can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be spiritual, it can be endings of sentimental situations where we are stuck, because it is also the energy of delusional awareness. It is also ideology and ideals. It is the energy of visionaries and sages. So I have kind of a lot of strong feelings about how people interpret that energy. So I personally do not believe that everything in Pisces/Neptune is delusional. I think that it is a convenient word for imagination. It's a convenient word to demean the energy of having a higher understanding of things. I think for many, many eons, we have demeaned people who have second sight or insight into different scenarios using intuition. And Pisces strongly rules intuition. It is the sign of the sage, like I said a second ago, shamans, spiritual pursuits, the Buddha, many things that are associated with spirituality and religion are associated with Pisces. And so to say you're delusional, it isn't particularly delusional. When you think about Pisces, that sign squares Gemini and Virgo. Actually, the two signs that are ruled by Mercury, and very intellectual, very analytical, very dogmatic around belief systems at times. Pisces, it gives itself over to something larger, and that is why it's a spiritual energy. So we are really wrapping up a lot of the energy around Neptune in this year and Pisces as we move towards the Aries energy. That's going to probably be some of the most concentrated around March and April. And we'll get into that a little bit later, either later in this video or in part 3. If I have a part 3, this might just be the last one. So we are going to have the transits out, and right now Saturn's in the middle of Pisces. It is retrograde, has been retrograde. I don't know that it is anymore. I'm not going to get into the details right now. That'll be for the next part. But yeah, it's really been asking us to create a structure around spirituality. And so that energy is very strong as the two kind of pressure systems basically butt up next to each other over the course of the year. So emotional, watery, intuitive energy butted up next to fiery, initiating. It is a cardinal sign, Aries. That means it acts out and it creates something new. It's an initiator sign, an initiator energy. So we're going to get into a little bit more of that later. So I think that's about all I wanted to share right now, and we'll go into the details in the next part. So thanks for watching. Okay, hi friends, welcome back again. So what I'm going to do in this segment is talk about New Year's Day and what that means for what we're going to experience. I have the chart right here. I'll pop it up. Maybe I'll adjust this so you can see. Let's see. Okay, so this segment is going to be talking about New Year's Day and the chart for New Year's Eve, or it's like midnight, January 1st. And what I've got here is 12 a.m., January 1st, 2025, Orlando, Florida, which is Eastern time zone. And I'm just going to dedicate a bit of time to this because I find that I want this to be thorough in what I believe is important. And I'm doing a lot of different segments because I just don't have the time right now to do one long video for 2 hours. So I'm doing what I can. And we're going to talk about what New Year's at midnight looks like in the chart. Like I said earlier in the video, Mars is a significant player this year, and Mars was at 1 degree of Leo retrograde on New Year's Eve, and it's right on the end degrees of the house of career. So if you look at how this influences the country, because the first time zone that we got, this was what was going on. The first time zone of the country is Eastern, and so this relates to the country at midnight, first midnight for the whole country. Of course, you can even break it further down by time zones, by city, et cetera, and how it relates into your personal chart. There's so much minutia in astrology that you could go into and never come out, dive down the rabbit hole. But we're going to just fixate on this for now. And then we'll talk about all the transits in Aries, which, like I said, is probably the most significant energy of the year, that and Pisces. So with a Mars in Leo, Leo is leaders. Leo is people in the spotlight, status, gambling. It is also people who enjoy connecting one-on-one. It is a social energy. It is a creative energy. And as far as that, those are some of the higher attributes, with the exception of maybe gambling, which can be probably more of an egoic thing. And also arrogance, or they're very generous sign in the positive energy, but they can gamble in the negative energy. And the Leo influence of Mars means that it's in a double fire energy. Mars is the fire planet in a fire sign. Leo is the connection. I think I said in the last part of the video, athletes are ruled by Aries. The connection of the teammates is ruled by Leo.